Expedition 33 has a problem. Hell, it has a big problem. And I'm aware that the minute I say those words, a huge amount of the gaming audience will immediately hate me and everything that I stand for and everything that follows. But it has to be said. Is it a great game? Yes, it is. Is it fantastic? Yes, it is. Was it much needed in an era of perpetually badly made games by AAA studios? Did we need to see a new studio helmed by the right people, employing the right people who'd make a great game? Yes, we absolutely did. Does that mean it's perfect? Absolutely not. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why Expedition 33 has a problem. It's a problem that people don't like to talk about, but in this video, we're going to talk about it. And by the way, if you enjoy deep dives into gaming like this one, please do like and subscribe. It massively helps the channel. Let's start out by being completely fair. Expedition 33 deserves its praise for one reason above all, and that is landed ambition. Expedition 33 is the work of a small studio, a new studio, swinging well above its weight, and on so many levels it connects. The art direction is breathtaking. With its watercolor-inspired visuals, every frame looks like concept art in motion. Characters are painted with dreamlike detail, their silhouettes as iconic as anything from a big-budget JRPG. Landscapes are layered with mood, from quiet snowbound ruins to lush forests that feel alive. In a time when so many games chase photorealism, Expedition 33 carves out its own identity, one that is instantly recognizable. The combat system too deserves recognition. Instead of relying on nostalgia-driven turn-based tropes, it injects rhythm and timing into battles. There's a balance between strategy and speed, and the game rewards experimentation. While not flawless, it's undeniably refreshing compared to the same old action-heavy RPG systems we've seen recycled across the genre. And then there's the narrative. Melancholy hangs over Expedition 33 like a shroud. This is a game about fate, inevitability, and the fragile humanity of those who resist it. It's haunting, often quietly devastating, and there are moments, both in dialogue and in set pieces, that stay with you long after the credits roll. On ambition alone, Expedition 33 deserves applause, but ambition doesn't automatically equal perfection. Now let's get honest, beneath the watercolor veneer and the fanboy worship, Expedition 33 is not perfect. The pacing is the first problem. The game's opening chapters hook you, but by the mid-game, repetition creeps in. Things start to blur together. Enemy encounters become predictable. The emotional weight of the story loses some of its momentum, stretched too thin across sequences that feel a little bit like padding at times. The combat, while innovative, suffers from imbalance. Certain builds trivialize boss fights, while others have you hitting frustratingly difficulty spikes that feel more unfair than engaging. At times, style wins out over substance. Mechanics are layered on top of one another without the kind of polish you'd expect from a studio truly mastering their own system. And then there's the writing. Thematically, it's strong, but not every character is as well developed as the marketing suggests. Some characters get full arcs with satisfying growth and emotional payoffs. Others feel more like sketches, dropped into the story but never given the depth to master it in quite the same way. None of this makes Expedition 33 a bad game, and I'm going to keep reiterating that. It is not a bad game. It is a great game. But it keeps it from crossing that line into the untouchable territory its loudest defenders insist it belongs in. Again, this video is not a video saying that I think Expedition 33 is a bad game. It is a great game. The biggest problem that Expedition 33 has is simply this: its fan base. The communities surrounding the game have become echo chambers. The moment you voice criticism about pacing, balance, or storytelling, you're written off as a hater, someone who doesn't get it. Did you even play the game? You're just sucking off AAA studios, etc., etc. Instead of open dialogue, you get gatekeeping. Instead of constructive debate, you get hostility. We've seen this before with Elden Ring, with The Last of Us, with Cyberpunk 2077 after its redemption arc. But with Expedition 33, it feels magnified. The smaller, tighter-knit community turn fervent devotion into a weapon. They aren't defending the game, they are trying to elevate it to cult status, treating any dissent as sacrilege. And ironically, this behavior hurts the game's legacy way more than it helps. Newcomers approach Expedition 33 expecting this flawless, brilliant masterpiece. And when they inevitably run into issues, disappointment hits harder. There is such a thing as the weight of expectation. I, for example, did not play Expedition 33 until well after its launch, and one of the reasons I delayed playing it for so long was the more I was fervently told it's the best game ever, it's a masterpiece, no other game is even remotely close to it, the more I felt I had to put off playing it because there's no way that my experience of playing the game would live up to the expectation that has been mounted upon me. Here's the thing, a game doesn't need to be flawless to be important. In fact, flaws are often what make ambitious games special. Think about Shadow of the Colossus. It's clunky, it's awkward and occasionally frustrating, but it's also unforgettable because of those very imperfections. Or Bloodborne, a game defined as much by its uneven mechanics as its brilliance. Expedition 33 should be allowed to exist in that same space. A bold, flawed, fascinating work that earns its place in RPG history, no, gaming history. Not because it's perfect, because it genuinely dared to be different. But when fans refuse to acknowledge those flaws, they erase what makes the game human. They flatten the nuance and they turn conversations about a good game into exhausting battles of loyalty. Something else that I've noticed with this title is this strange sort of perpetual mythological storytelling that goes on around the creation of the game. I've seen people claim that the entire studio is made by nothing but juniors. Most of the staff, it was their first ever title, that they used no outsourcers at all. It was only 30 people that made the whole game. And I hate to be the one to burst this bubble, but most of those are not true. The game did use outsourcers. And how do I know this? I work in the outsource space. Most games you rely heavily on outsourcing. Not for every aspect of the game, but for certain specific elements of the game. It's just part of making games now. Clair Obscur is no different. They used outsourcers. The studio was also founded by veterans. Again, even in a video I did recently talking about Game of the Year, I had people telling me blankly and aggressively that no, the game was made entirely by juniors. You don't know what you're talking about. It's not. The studio was founded by veterans who knew what they were doing. Were people employed straight out of college or university and their first studio gig was this game? Absolutely it was. Which shows, again, to the industry, you do not need to overhire, you do not need to overpay purely veteran-based developers to be able to make an amazing game. You can have juniors led by veterans who know exactly what they're doing, and they will produce works of art that the AAA industry wishes they could make. Again, I am not knocking this game by saying that it was led by veterans and very, very skilled, clearly very skilled juniors in respective fields who went on to make something beautiful. None of this knocks the game or how it was made in any way, but I do think this strange myth that has been created around this title and the studio and the people that made it does not help conversations, nor does it help people that are maybe looking to play the game for the first time, because so much of it is just simply not true. In the end, Expedition 33 will be remembered as a great game, one that pushed the boundaries of indie JRPG design, one that pushed the concept of game design as a whole, but also how games can be made. At a time when we have nothing but studio bloat, when at times when AAA studios are struggling to connect with audiences, more and more we need studios like Sandfall Interactive who will go out there and make the kind of games that the giants are too afraid to make anymore. This has been an amazing year for incredible games to get made, often outside of the AAA space. Sandfall Interactive are easily at the very top of that pinnacle, along with studios like Warhorse Studios, Supergiant, Team Cherry, among others. This game and others will inspire generations of devs and studios for years to come. But it will also be remembered for its fan base, both as a community that celebrated its uniqueness and as one that suffocated honest discussion around it. And maybe that's the biggest irony of all, that Expedition 33 is a game about fate and inevitability, and the struggle to accept imperfection in an imperfect world, and yet its fans refuse to do the same for the game itself. So let's end here. Expedition 33 is great, beyond great. It's simply just not perfect. It's not untouchable, and that's okay. Its real power lies not in being flawless, but in being deeply ambitious, human, and worth discussing, warts and all. But I would love to know your thoughts about Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So please do let me know in the comments down below, and don't flame me too hard for daring to say the game is not perfect. Until next time, something, something, something.